Hello everybody, my name is Amanda Ellis of amandaellis.co.uk and Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours. I'm going to be doing a video here on Archangel Metatron, and I guess it's like a video for the next month or so, so going into 2014, can't believe I'm saying that. And it's really like an energy overview, so what have we got to look forward to over the next month? Very much from Metatron's perspective and what he wants to say to us today. So I don't know what we're really going to be talking about, so I think I'll just get going with it and see where we go. So I'm going to just reach out and get one of the new Metatron sprays that I'm using now. Just this one. Bright orange, it's one of the new energy sprays that I'm making. There we go, orange flame, and I love this one, so I'm going to use this one just to try and tune into his energy. So let's all just settle down and see what he has to say for us this December. I'm making this actually right at the end of November, but it's December. So maybe just imagining yourself now being cocooned by that orange light. This time it's coming down. December 2013. What a magical time we are about to enter. If you think back to December 2012, so many of you were anxious about what was to come, what was to happen on the 21st or 22nd of December 2012. There was so much hype and spin and expectation, and so many of you saw that date come and go and then wondered, well, what happened? Has the world changed? Has the energy changed? Everything still looks the same. Track forward to now, December 2013, and the world may on the surface look quite similar, but I am asking you to go within and to look at your own inner development over the last 12 months and to see the difference in terms of the person that you were 12 months ago to the person that you are now. And so I'm being asked to ask you to visualize yourself 12 months ago, December the 1st, 2012. And I'd just like you to close your eyes and to just remember back to where you were, what you looked like, what you were doing, obviously not exactly on the day, but just generally what was going on in your life around then. And how were you feeling with the lead up to the 2012 date? What were you expecting to happen? What were you hoping to happen? Just looking at it, observing it, remembering. Maybe remembering last Christmas, remembering where you were, the people you were with, whether it was a happy time or a sad time. Maybe there were poignant things going on, maybe there were arguments, maybe it's just a very joyful time. But just looking at whatever was happening in your life around about 12 months ago, last December. And Metatron is now pulling you forward again to this present moment. And he's saying just take a moment to stop and look at where you are now. So we've had a snapshot of your life as it was. And I'd just like you now to take a snapshot of your life as it is right at this present time. Just take a look at where you are, what you look like, who's around you, what you're doing. Now for some of you, it may look quite similar. It may be that you think, well, not much has changed. For others, you might find it's almost quite unrecognizable in terms of situations that have changed around you, people that have changed around you. It could be that you're living in different places, doing different types of work. Maybe your health is in a different state. Just once again, noting the changes or lack of changes that have happened within the last 12 months. And then I'd like you just to take a look forward with Metatron beside you to the next year ahead. And I'd like you to really think about what you're hoping for the next period coming up, 2014. What is it that you can see yourself getting into, doing, or being in 2014? It may be that you need new people around you. There may be new things to learn. You may have been putting off a decision in 2013 that really needs to be made now and dealt with. You may be hoping for better things. You may be hoping for a totally clean slate. You may be hoping that things continue very much as they are. Just take note of whatever it is that you're hoping for in 2014. Okay. And Metatron is saying here that everything is possible. Everything is possible. There is nobody watching this video that is in a situation which cannot be changed. And he's saying the key to that change lies within you. One area that I know that he wanted to look at in this video, and is now coming in, and it makes sense to me, is I keep hearing him talking about the cult of celebrity. And in the UK in particular, but not just in the UK, in other countries too, there have been a few cases recently where, you know, household names have very much fallen from grace. And what he's saying is, look within yourselves. Don't put anybody else up on a pedestal. It's okay to respect somebody else, to look up to somebody else, to like what they're doing or the way they behave. But he's saying don't ever put people on a pedestal above yourself. And he's saying that there's going to be more of these celebrities that basically fall from grace, and that's going to continue, and it's going to get faster as we go into 2014. So be prepared for it. Be prepared for some illusions to shatter. Be prepared for things that you never dreamt would be happening, might have been happening by people that you would at least have expected, he's saying. And he's saying this is all happening for a reason, which is the need to dismantle the celebrity culture that is around us. And he's saying it's actually like a form of sickness that is in our society, where we have children that look up to people that don't really deserve to be looked up to. He's saying this has to change. And he's saying there is a lesson in this for all of us, which is that to look to ourselves to be our own hero. There is a song, isn't there, by I think it's M People, and it talks about search for the hero inside of yourself, and that's the song that I'm hearing in my head now as Metatron is talking. It's really, really important to be our own guru, our own guide, our own teacher. We can look to other people for support, and I'm hoping that what I do here is I offer support, and it's about empowerment, but it's always about you finding your own voice and your own truth, and that's what we all should be doing. So rather than looking outside of ourselves, whether it's a celebrity or any other thing, really looking within ourselves, and then when we do that, we can see actually what we are capable of. And he's saying it's like any process, it's going to take real trust and faith, because it's much easier to look outside of yourself for somebody else to say to you, it's okay to do that, it's okay to take that job, it's okay to leave that relationship. He's saying, really, you have to become your own master. We all have to become our own master. And if something feels right or it doesn't feel right, that is our truest guide. And he's saying you've all heard this many times before, but you haven't acted on it. There are still people that say, oh yes, I know that, but they're not acting on it. And he's saying the time is now, going into 2014, for all of us to start to step in more to our masterhood. 2013 was a year of great clearing for a lot of people, and it's still an ongoing process for some. It's almost as though I'm being shown 2013 was a place where he often talks about jigsaws. It's almost as though all the pieces were put down on the board and they were all jiggled around a bit, so you sort of start to see what the picture's going to look like. But it's only by going into next year, 2014, that we actually start to put the pieces of the jigsaw together, and you start to actually see what you are creating and what the whole of this year was about as well. For so many people, this year that we've just had was a year of preparation, and we need to be going into next year with a sense of excitement that we're actually capable now of stepping into our masterhood and being able to create whatever we want to. He's saying everybody that's watched this video, when he asked them to think about what they would like for next year, he's saying you've all kept it really small. You've all limited yourself in some ways. So again, something to do maybe after watching this would be to go back and again get your pad of paper out and sketch out what you would like for next year, and make it bigger and more abundant and more grand than you ever thought possible. And include obviously all the people in it that you love. How can they be included? How can they share some of this joy? What do you hope for other people as well? So that's one very key message that's coming through. I'm going to pull a card now before we move on. Again, this is from the pack that I've just bought, which is the Angels of Atlantis deck by Stuart Pearce. I really like these at the moment. They've got a very lovely energy, and they've got really vibrant colours on them, which is why they particularly attract me. And I just want to see what the message is of the card that we're going to pick here now. So it's this one. Raphael, Communion. Okay, so I know we're talking with Metatron, but to be honest, Metatron governs all the archangels. So it's, the way I always view it, it's a bit like Metatron is the umbrella energy, and we have the other archangels underneath it, and they all work together and they all work for each other. There's no such thing as hierarchy really, but Metatron is the one that pulls all these different energies together. So he's wanting us to link in very much to Raphael here. Now, I keep pulling this card at the moment for myself personally as well. It's called Communion. And actually, if you look at the details of that card, can you see that? It's very beautiful, isn't it? What it's actually depicting is a group of people that are coming together, not to take communion in the old sense of the church, but just to be with each other and to commune with spirit, to commune with not only our higher selves, but just to be together. And I think I wrote about this in my newsletter on my website. Metatron was talking very much about the need to be with like-minded people. And again, you know, this is a time when we have no choice anymore. We have to do this. You can't be a hermit and just keep yourself to yourself and not link up with other people who share these interests that we have as spiritual beings. So Metatron is saying the time for hiding is over. You know, the time for sitting there and not confessing that maybe you're interested in angels and you quite like colour, or you bought a new crystal today. All that is years out of date now. You know, we've all done it. I've done it, certainly when I started on my spiritual path. It's very hard sometimes to come out and say, when someone says, what do you do? It was much easier for me to, I don't think I ever made something up, but I would be a bit wishy-washy about what I do. Whereas now I'm quite clear. I'm a healer, I'm an Archangel Metatron guide, and I'm a colour therapist. And if people don't understand that, well, fine, I can explain if they want me to, but I'm being true to myself. So it's not as if you're being asked to proclaim it from the rooftops, but you are being asked to be true. So when somebody, the last video I just made with Joe Feels Energy was about what brings you joy. So if, for example, angels bring you joy and somebody asks you what makes you happy, you have to include that in the list. So but it's easier when we link up with more like-minded people, and we know we're not on our own, because we're not on our own. This is only going to grow more and more, the belief in all of these things, because they are all about self-empowerment, and that it is the age that we're all being asked to move into. So I'm going to just connect into Metatron one more time, just to see if there's anything else to say to us this December. And actually, he's saying, before I even spray that one, he's talking about the comet that's going to hit our planet soon. Well, not literally hit our planet, but hopefully come into our into our solar system as such. as I make this video, there's debate as to whether it survives it's coming near the sun or not. So I don't know whether it will survive that or not. What I'm not being told it, I'm sorry, that's not a cop-out, but I'm not being told it. What I am being told is that whether it does or it doesn't, whether we can physically see it with our own eyes or not, its energy is going to be immense. It literally is like the biggest firework in the sky that we've ever seen that is going to be going off, and it's positive. It is it's colourful, it's joyful, it's vibrant, it's alive, it's bringing wisdom and energy and love from galaxies we don't even know of, you know. And the way that this comet is being tracked as well is quite interesting, because it's mystified a lot of astronomers, because it doesn't necessarily look the way that they think comets usually look. So there's something very mysterious about it. And isn't it wonderful that it's coming in December, which is the month obviously of Christ's birth, and of course Christ's birth was obviously the star in the sky which the Magi were all following. And okay, what Metatron's saying to me here is that in a way it's symbolic of the same thing. So we are like the Magi that followed the star, so that we found, you know, that the Magi found Christ in the manger. What's happening here is it's like I'm being told we are the Magi, but there are thousands and thousands of us, and we are all in a sense waiting for this light. And even if we don't physically see it, the energy will still be there. You have to be out in nature, he's saying, to experience it at sunset, sunrise. I don't know. It's going to be different for different cultures. I heard on the morning in the UK today here that it's particularly sunset. That's right, it's particularly sunset. But to be honest, just to be out in nature, you'll still be picking up the. I'm seeing it as like particles of energy that is raining down on us. But he's saying the whole point of it is that it will pass a lot of people by. Some people won't even register that it's happening. Very much like at the time of Christ, so many people never even were aware that this amazing, you know, he had been born, and the gift that he brought into the world, which was light. It's exactly the same with this comet. The comet's bringing in huge quantities of light into our planet, but this time it's not for some master that is to be born, that is in a way separate from us. It's for us as the master. It's our star, and it's our individual star, and it's going to be unique to all of us. So it's I'm also being told here that it's going to be connecting us in to different galaxies and different star systems that are individual to every single person. So that's quite exciting, and that's something probably we'll be looking at a lot more next year, because I know it's coming in for all of us more, that we're going to become much more aware of our origins. And okay, we've been born here on the earth, but we all originate from different places, and we're going to be looking at that. How does Metatron fit into all that? Well, Metatron is the gatekeeper, and I've said that for many years, and I still hold true to that, which is that he literally is the one that holds the gate open in a safe way for other energies to come through. And Metatron is the one, you can see the painting behind me, he's holding the earth in its Merkaba. He holds the earth safe, and it will only be energies of the right vibration and light that are allowed into this atmosphere anyway. And so therefore, again, it's like this beautiful umbrella energy that just makes it safe for us all to integrate this. I think it's going to be very important as we go into the latter part of December, and certainly into January, that we all ground ourselves very well, because I'm picking up that the energy coming in is going to be quite starry, and if you're not careful, you could feel quite spaced out with it. If not spaced out, your physical body might start playing up a little bit, so more aches and pains, and or just general lethargy, tiredness, as your body tries to integrate these new energies. So very important colour-wise to be using the reds. Again, I've got a red spray, for example, a Metatron spray, which I call Crimson, which is linked into the base and the root. And also I've got a Sandalphon spray as well, which is linked into the Earth Star energy, which again is very good. They're for sale on my website at the moment. But just having those colours around you, the red, the earthy colours, is important, getting out in nature. So, final message from Metatron, just to probably wish you a happy Christmas, but I'm just going to see what he has to say in his own words. This is white light that I'm spraying around me now. What I'm being shown is a totally smooth path leading up to Christmas, leading up to the end of the year. This doesn't mean that things might not be happening in the world, but he's saying those of us that are on our path and are our own master, and to use his words, on our own path and our own master, is as though we have a smooth pathway leading to the end of the year. And next year is going to be very, very different, he's saying, for everybody. It's like hold on to your hats time, but in a good way. But it should be that you are able to detach from the dramas and the things that are going on around the world more if you stay centered and you keep Metatron's energy within you. On my website, amandaellis.co.uk, I've written a newsletter and I've put some of the symptoms of stepping more into what we call fifth dimensional consciousness, or stepping more into our masterhood. And one of the things I talk about is a sense of detachment, which often we can feel as well. So it's as though our higher self is watching things going on around us, but we're not getting as emotionally engaged in it as we used to be, and so therefore our energy is not getting drained. Have a look at that if you haven't, because I think that would be useful for you as well. But on that note, I really just want to wish you all a great Christmas. At this stage, I'm not sure whether I'll make another video this year or not. I may well do, to be honest, particularly as we get nearer into December itself. But if not, I'll definitely do one in a few weeks going into the new year. So, in the meantime, I wish you lots of love and a really happy end to 2013. And thank you, every single one of you that's sort of tuned into my work this year. It makes it all worthwhile, to be perfectly honest with you, that people like what I'm doing and are watching or listening or reading. So thank you very much. I really mean that from my heart. Okay, bye for now.